Oh, hello. So, we are going to have a talk about LifeWave again tonight. And I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about the X39 patch. That's just revolutioned my life. So X39 is the main patch that LifeWave has, and it does pretty much everything. When you look at the list of all the things that it works on and all the changes that it makes, X39 is the one to get. If you're going to get one patch and one patch only, and you're going to wear it every single day, X39 is the one that you want to get. Why? Because it kind of covers everything. And there's a little bit of a secret behind X39 that we can't really talk about online right now, but that is coming up later on. So, just stay tuned and it will come. But right now, all we can say is it actually upregulates a copper peptide in your system that helps to activate some cells in your body. And by activating those cells in your body, it makes a big difference. So, one of the things that I found when I started using them was I ended up having more energy in my system. And having more energy was huge for me because that time when I started on them, I had quite a few projects on the go and I was busy and running and trying to get everything done. So being able to go all day made a huge difference for me. But at the same time, I was getting better sleep. I noticed that when I went to bed at night, I would actually fall asleep even faster. And ask my wife, she's going to say, I don't know how you can fall asleep any faster because I just fall asleep right away. But for the most part, I would go into a deeper sleep right away. And it wouldn't take me long to get there. Whereas before, I would fall asleep quick, but I was never in a really deep sleep and I would wake up really easily from noises around me. And now that doesn't happen as bad anymore. So that was a huge win for me. Another thing I noticed, I had chronic shoulder pain and it was pretty bad. And I look back at it and I go, okay, there was a huge difference there and it made a massive difference in my life. And being able to just slowly have that pain go down was massive for me and made a world of difference in my life from every aspect of being able to actually get up in the morning and go do things to being able to lift stuff with my arm again that I wasn't able to do before. And not easily. I could still lift stuff, like it wasn't that bad, but it was painful to be able to do it. So it's one of those things where a lot of times we don't actually think about what our bodies are going through because when pain starts to set in and you start to get a little bit here and there, it's so gradual that your body starts to get used to it and it wants to continually compensate. So it uses different parts of the body to compensate, but then you start to hurt and abuse those parts of the body. A little story about abusing your body. I have a friend of mine that ended up in an accident and lost one of his arms. It was not a good time and it was not easy, but one of the things he noticed is he still wanted to get the same amount of stuff done that he did before. And what ended up happening is he started to damage that other arm and it made a pretty big impact for him. So now he's dealing with that kind of pain, right? So it's one of those things that makes a difference. One of the other things, I was talking to somebody the other day, they find that the X39 actually calms them down and makes a difference calming them down and brings down all that stress and everything that's going on. So that's huge for them to be able to reduce that stress. But because once you reduce stress and you reduce inflammation in your body, your blood can actually get to where it's supposed to be in the body. And then from there, it can actually start doing repair. But when you're in a stress situation or you're heavily inflamed, your body is going to have a hard time actually healing itself because it can't get the blood flow, it can't get the nutrients, it can't get everything that it needs in that area there. And that's why you end up going to a massage therapist or you end up going to a chiropractor to loosen you up and be able to allow things to move again. And that's one of the things that you're going to notice, right? So with X39 from LifeWave, you're going to find that you're going to be more relaxed. You're going to see a reduction in pain because it reduces that inflammation in the body. It gives you an overall sense of just well being and a comfort and a calmness that comes across. And it just kind of makes things that much easier. You may even know that your collagen, so when it comes to your joints and all that kind of stuff, that it's going to get a little bit better. And for me, I feel awesome. Actually, today I was walking up a set of stairs and I was like, man, I got a pretty good spring in my step. I feel pretty good. And, walking up 30-foot flight of stairs, it can take a little bit off of you when you're going up. Like you think you get, you kind of feel a little bit heavy, but today it was like, oh, I'm getting a little bit of a jump out of it. So it was like that actually felt really, really good. And it was another little benefit that I noticed from using these patches. And it's huge. So X39 is the one that you want to get into, and it's going to make the biggest difference. Um, One other thing you might see a little bit more hair growth. Lines and wrinkles might start getting reduced, and all these little things that you're going to kind of have to pay attention to. And one of the things we do when we start using this is we have what you call a tracker. And in that tracker, it goes through and it gives you, like, on day one, this is what I felt like when I started, right? And you everything from 1 to 10, right? So how was your pain? How was your sleep? How was your energy? How was your skin appearance and all of that stuff. So all of that, you kind of take that and you put it into this tracker, and then you can see and you can watch it. So day 1, day 3, day 7, and then they go week 2, week 3, month, and then they go 2 months, and then they go 3 months, right? And minimum they usually say is do it for 3 months, but they usually say do the patches, do X39 for at least a decade for every sorry, not a decade. Jeepers. A month for every decade you've been alive. Tongue twister. There we go. Um, so that's one of the things that they say when you're getting onto these, that's what you want to do. And they are, I say amazing a lot because they are amazing because they've done so much for me. And that's where I come from. So, anyways, if you want to know more about them, go to my bio down below. You're going to find some information down there, like a link tree, and you're going to see my email, and you're going to see my Instagram, my Facebook, things like that, my other YouTube videos, and you can get some more information from them. I also have my link down below where you can actually buy the patches and you can try them out. Here's a cool thing: if you work with me, I'll get you 30% off and we'll reduce that down a little bit more just by the way that we get the patches to you. And that makes a difference, like 30%. That's pretty good. And you're also going to see a massive difference in your life if you allow it and you stick with it. That is the most important thing. If I had stopped at the 4 months because I was 40 years old, then I would have not got the results that I had. And you just had to give it time. All right. Anyways, that's all I got for you tonight. It's late tonight. We're about 11 o'clock, pretty close, almost 11 o'clock at night. And I just thought I wanted to come on real quick and just have a real quick chat about X39 and the LifeWave patches. But I'm Rick from Belgium. Have a good night.